that one's so bad is bad.
Well, yeah. To be fair, it did develop a very huge cult following.
It has.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesday Morning Shenanigans, filmed inside Maui Comics and Collectibles. I am Aaron of the Rave Corner, and joining me is special guest, the Blu-ray Whoreder. How you doing, man? Yes. So, I didn't give you any leeway to actually say it. Okay. Say it one more time.
How's it?
All right. So today's topic, we're going to talk about movies that are so bad it's good. Movies of any genre that people have widely criticized, yet it is our guilty pleasure.
Yes.
So I'll start off the conversation because I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. I would like to say that one of the few movies that comes up that I'm still fond of is Jingle All the Way. For those who don't know, it's about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and at the last minute on Christmas Eve, he decides to buy his son a Turbo Man doll. And as it turns out, the Turbo Man action figure is the hottest toy that is selling in the market. So by the time he gets there, it's all sold out and it's not as easy as he thought it was. Now, the reason why I liked it is because I could relate with that situation. Around the time that the Turbo Man, or let alone the movie, came out, it was right when the Power Rangers was hot, and I understood the struggles of trying to get a really hot toy because, we had the Megazord and all these other kinds of cool stuff, yet I couldn't get them because, one, they sell out fast, and two, they're normally out of anyone's price range. So I do completely know how horrible that feels. And at the same time, if you were to rewatch the movie, I noticed that the tall Santa was played by the Big Show.
Yes.
That was him. And his big
all
moment.
White.
Yeah, and he does this thing where he says, I'm going to, what does it go? I forgot the line.
Hey, that's your movie. All I remember from that movie is...
I'm going to deck your halls, bub. Yeah. That's what he said.
All I remember from that movie is, put the cookie down.
No! So that was mine. So what about you?
Wow, there's several. So this is kind of a topic that it's arbitrary, but as you see, I brought a few in of mine personally, except this one, The Room. That one's so bad is bad.
Well, yeah, to be fair, it did develop a very huge cult following.
It has.
You tear me apart, Lisa.
They used the same sex scene twice.
Yeah. Well, before you go on, I want to point out, but did you notice that the silver gun that he used was actually an airsoft one? If you were to pause it at the right moment, you'll see the warning sign that was carved out on the side of the barrel. How do I know? I own the same airsoft gun at one point.
Oh, you're like, hey, that's mine.
The only difference is they painted over the orange cap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what title do you have there?
So I love this movie, but after rewatching it a few times, it's a bad movie. It's just the plot. It's the story of Ricky O.
And for those who aren't familiar, what's the story about?
It's about this Ricky. He's actually, he's in jail. It starts off him being in jail, and there's a backstory of him killing like a drug dealer because he sold drugs to his sister, which affected her and got her killed. Like, she committed suicide. And so he was arrested in jail, and then all of a sudden, people that know that drug lord are trying to kill him. And that involves the warden, that involves, pretty much all the guards. Everyone's pretty much out to get him.
But what was the reason why he was in jail in the first place? Was he framed for his sister's murder, or was it when he actually...
No, he wasn't framed for his murder. He killed the person responsible for her committing suicide. So he killed the drug lord.
Okay.
And so they got him for that. But the reason why it's so bad is the dubbing is so crazy. You've seen a lot of Bruce Lee flicks where the dubbing, it's kind of off, but this one's just over the top. Have you seen the movie Kung Pao?
Oh, absolutely.
It's twofold of Kung Pao.
Really?
So, yes. And I didn't bring that today, but that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's similar along those lines, but this one has over-the-top gore, which I love gore. But it's like punching through stomachs, grabbing the intestines. It's punching people's heads off.
Right.
Literally, punching another guy's as he's throwing a fist, and it just rips apart his fingers, and it punches through pretty much limbs.
Now, is this fair? Is it fair to say that it is probably the goriest kung fu film of that era? Because it looks like that came out in the.
You're gonna be surprised,
right?
No, go ahead. Say the year.
Well, that looks like something from maybe the 70s.
It's 1994, and
oh my goodness,
just introduced to mainstream in 2010.
But from their hair, were they trying to predate back to the 70s, or was it all within the 90s time frame? It's hard to tell by his long hair.
It's hard to tell, but it seems like it was trying to be an older film just by the type of vehicles and the outfits. But yeah, his hair, he got that Asian, mullet going. But there's just some over the top, just acting. The acting's bad too. The dubbing, but that's what makes it bad. But if you're a fan of martial arts and horror, as far as gore, you're gonna want to see this.
Do you think that they were intentionally making it seem very bad, or were they being serious?
No. I have that feel that there's no way they could have made this into a serious. They had the selling points of being, just unbelievably, just bad effects, but just the goriness of it.
So I think it's kind of safe to say that they're paying a homage to the campy thing that they got from the 70s, and just trying to redo that kind of style in the 90s.
Yes.
Nice.
But it's not well known, and I just wanted to focus on this one in particular. I do have more that I want to briefly talk about, but this has to be just my favorite one that I would like to show to everyone that's interested, but it's not meant for everyone.
Oh, well, why do you think that is?
Oh, it's just the if you have a weak stomach, you're definitely not going to be into this.
Oh, I see. So if you don't like gore, then you probably might not stomach it. But if you love it, along with the cheesy, campy kung fu film, at least kung fu feel of the old type of films, then I guess it's a win-win. Nice.
Another one along the same lines is Miami Connection, and some of these I'm amazed that they actually put this on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever heard of the title.
Yes.
So is this one of those buddy cop films?
So to speak. It's more of they're friends. You would think like Miami Vice, Miami Connection.
Yeah. I was thinking, where's the blazer, man, with the pink inner dress shirt?
But it's totally 80s cheese. But there's ninjas on motorcycles. It's really the plot
I did see that.
There's really not a plot. There's just all of a sudden a bunch of fighting. But this main character, I believe he's Korean, but heavy accent, so bad you can barely understand him, and he's trying to be serious. And then there's this African American actor that he doesn't look mixed at all, and he's saying oh yeah, my mom's full-blooded Korean, and it was so obvious. How is that gonna how does that make sense? But it's just over the top, the fighting, the effects. But it's so fun. It's such a fun film.
So we have our main actor, but I guess his day in the life is just him going through the constant gang violence that happens, or is he a
Yes,
cop?
It's just random people out for them,
wow,
out for them.
So,
and they may have kind of a plot, but I just watch it for the the goofiness of it.
Okay, so he's just in the rough streets of Miami, and he's just showing that in the day in his life, he's always under the threat of these gangs that just pop out of nowhere.
Yes, ninjas on motorcycles.
But do they have a beef with him, or are these gangs actually fighting with each other in a turf war?
Yes, he has his own gang. So he has kind of his own gang, and there's about 6-7 of them. But yes, it's kind of gang versus gang.
Okay, but they own that turf, and so they're constantly being challenged so they could be dethroned by those rival gangs.
Yes, so to speak.
You already had me at ninjas on motorcycles. Why would ninjas ever be motorcycles to begin with?
And I do have a digital code that I want you to view this, because it is hard to find.
Sweet.
Along the same lines, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it's Ninja Busters. I think they wanted to be a lot like Miami Connection, but the one scene is where this guy is doing the centipede, like breakdancing to avoid kicks.
Is that?
It's crazy.
Is that George Okada?
Let me see. No, I think it's Gerald Okamura.
Oh yeah, I meant Gerald Okamura. I am so sorry, sir. Yeah, that's what I meant. Gerald Okamura was the same guy in Big Trouble in Little China. So around that time, any sort of, I guess, acting gig where he's doing martial arts or portray him in any sort of gang, he's probably done it.
Yeah, I mean his character is so cheesy. Like he couldn't fight at all in the beginning. Then they joined this dojo to learn how to fight. And they went through a lot of training, but his main thing of getting into the dojo wasn't necessarily to learn how to fight. It was more of getting the babes. It's totally weird. Some people love the series, but this is just personally a lot of people. Batman and Robin is the worst of the series, just because so cheesy. George Clooney,
Yes. Well, George, is that the one with if I
Arnold
remember?
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Mr.
Freeze. Yeah, just one-liners and whatnot.
I remember that. Like, hey everybody, chill.
Yeah.
And then you had Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Oh boy.
You had Robin. Chris, what's his last name?
I forgot his name. Swan, do you remember?
Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
No, get out of here.
He had me going there.
Chris O'Donnell.
And
Alicia Silverstone.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the show. We don't have much time, but here's the random question of the day. Would you rather be beaten up by Chuck Norris and his roundhouse kick or by Jackie Chan with windshield wipers?
I would be honored to be kicked by a roundhouse kick by Chuck Norris.
I would go for Jackie Chan in the windshield wipers. Swan, get in here. What would you rather be beaten up by?
We heard that question. And
Yeah.
First off,
Make it quick. Come on. We don't have much time.
So, I don't know. I'm going to be with the Chuck Norris roundhouse.
Why?
Because I could survive that.
Yes.
I would rather be honored by being whipped by windshield wipers.
No, I think if we did that one Jackie Chan movie where he falls on the Street Fighter console,
But he won't have be landing on the
better.
console.
Him dressed as Chun-Li doing the kick, that would be even better.
All right.
The roundhouse.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so we're out of time right now. Big thanks to the Blu-ray Whoreder for coming out. Thanks a lot,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Oh, and we would love to have you back on sometime in the future.
I'll be here.
All right, cool. So once again, check out his channel, youtube.com/the Blu-ray Whoreder. Also, big thanks to Maui Comics and Collectibles. Follow the store on Facebook and Instagram at Maui Comics. And if you loved this episode and would love to see more episodes of Tuesday Morning Shenanigans into the future, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. Or if you have a random question that you just thought of and would love to see us answer it, again, leave it in the comment section and we will answer them into the next episode. If you love figure reviews and would love to see more figure reviews, check out the Rave Corner, whose link is provided in the description below. There's Godzilla, Transformers, and all kinds of cool stuff, so go ahead and give that a peek. And were you going to say something?
Also, throw some love to Friday Night Frights guys.
Yes.
And NERDWatch. You got to throw some to the other local guys.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the guys over at Friday Night Frights. See them at youtube.com, at Wolfhouse808, and the NERDWatch, who's available on
NERDWatch Nation.
NERDWatch Nation. And also see them on KAKU 88.5 The Voice of Maui. They will be on channel 55 if you're living on Maui.
7 o'clock.
For all my subscribers checking out this video, please sub to the Rave Corner.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And Wolfhouse808, that's how I found out about Aaron.
Absolutely. So until then, on behalf of myself and everyone on the table, thank you for checking out the video.